Game 2 going to be coming up here shortly. Dignitas electing to take the Chaos side here. Leftovers, they're going to be Order. I believe this is the same as it was last time?
Same as last time. Leftovers took Khepri last time as their first pick. They banned away Bakasura, which they're doing again.
I would imagine, oh no. So this is actually the first time Dignitas have ever adjusted their picks and ban strategy in the second game, or at least the ban strategy. For the first 3 sets they played, they actually banned the same 2 gods both times, but instead, they really did not like dealing with Badgah's Khepri.
No, they did not at all. And to be fair, Badgah played it very, very well on the front line, causing issues, and the ultimates were on point, and he was very tanky too. Sol banned away by Dignitas. They don't want to see that go over to the Leftovers there. What will Leftovers choose this time round then, with Khepri taken off the table? Do you reckon we're seeing Ares here potentially? Do you reckon we're seeing Ares?
I think we're going to see an Apollo.
Wow. Wow. Is it because you saw it?
No.
Did you drive at me?
Foresee it.
Did you drive at me? It seems like you did.
I didn't drive it. No. Foresaw. I know. I got it.
It's
Apollo
okay,
first picked, and Apollo has risen to be one of the best hunters, not only for his versatility, but simply because the throwing dagger buff put him back in the meta, helped out his early game, and then he gets buffed with his ultimate across the skies. And honestly, you can stay up in the air for so long now. We saw, I believe it was Whirlwind yesterday, just kind of flying around for what seemed like a minute, honestly.
So these are picks taken away by Dignitas here from Leftovers. Yes. Nija has been picked up a couple of times in the jungle this season for Leftovers. They've run that 4 times so far this season, have Leftovers, so take that one away. And Janus, well, you just saw Cherryo's performance on that. Great play from him, so gonna give that to ShadowNightmare instead. Athena for Leftovers, not a surprise to see one of Badgah's go-to gods being picked up here. I'm surprised we didn't see the Ares out of him, honestly. I expected to see that.
And Cherryo going to go back to one of his well-known gods. It's going to be also the Egyptian sniper back at it again, trying to lock down some targets here. It's so surprising because everyone, right? You'll
He's
see.
not played it this season, you know.
Has he not? He played it in relegations though.
He did,
and he had. I believe he's had it banned away from him a couple times.
He has had it banned away, but this is the first time we get to see it
in Pro League play, at least. And I don't know what it is, but he just seems to not only kill targets, right, with these snipes, but he also somehow always manages to find a couple more, and it looks like Bakasura is back, but Anaja's on the table for Dignitas already.
Well, I mean, we've got TheDarkDodo in solo lane, right? And Dodo has played everything.
I didn't
Mages, Hunters, Assassins is now going to be on the table for him. Is it Nija or is it Bakasura? That's the question.
It's probably Bakasura in solo. That makes the most sense. Why you can't run that? I mean, you can run Naja solo. But Bakasura was a solo laner when he was in meta, right? And then he came out of meta, and now he's back because he got a buff. But I really didn't like FrostiaK's Bakasura. He wasn't really invading. He was kind of just farming his own jungle and still got behind jungler and farm.
If you actually look at what he did in the game, he was in the enemy jungle a lot, but there was just no camps whenever he got there. I don't want to say he wasn't invading, because every time I looked at the map, he was there. There was just no camps for him to
What's the point? You also have to know timers, right? You have to know when the enemy's taking it, whether that's on you to ward or the rest of your team to ward, or just understanding kind of the jungle route that the Leftovers were taking. But he just kind of let everything go. Like he went to do his own boar instead of invade the enemy's boar, when he literally presses one button and then jumps away.
Now, before we even see this pick come through, what do you think about Nija Bakasura Joe lane?
Now that sounds
I'm just
like
thinking
fun.
about it.
That sounds
I'm
like
just
fun.
Do you want to run that tonight? I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
That sounds like fun. Nija Bakasura, watch people get scared.
You play Bakasura, let me play Naja.
Okay. I'll sit there and steal jungle camps all day. It's no problem. Anhur logged in for Dignitas. That will probably go the way of iRens, which kind of, defeats what I was saying there. Bastet, once again, for jungler. He had a very good game on that, to be fair. I think the one mistake that I did call him out on was the chase on Suntouch, which I think hindered the team of Leftovers more than it helped them picking up Suntouch. He was already out of the engagement. Last pick will be Medusa, so double Hunter composition and a Ra, which means this is probably going to be Apollo solo.
I actually really want to see Ymir here. It's worrying because you have a lot of setup with Athena and Bastet to kind of kill him, but the walls right now would actually be the best thing for Dignitas. But they're going to go Guan instead, so a little bit of sustain in their support role.
This is a crazy composition, because I'm not sure where Leftovers is going to run everything here. They've got Bastet in the jungle, and I'm guessing Ra's going to Cherryo mid. So is it Apollo solo against Guan Yu?
Dodo's run it already.
And I think Guan Yu versus Apollo is going to be a really interesting matchup.
It's Bakasura solo, remember? Guan Yu support.
Guan support. Unless it's Bakasura support. Nija support. We've seen it before.
Yannick was the one who ran it.
Support.
Yannick's always wanted to run that, though. Even back on TSM, the team wouldn't let him.
Let's find out. It's FrostiaK, Jungle Amnesia, DarkDodo solo Bakasura. Suntouch will be playing the Guan Yu there as well. Nika will be solo on the Apollo, and Arkkyl will be playing the Medusa. So, now that we've got all that taken care of, let's look at relics to begin with. First of all, Suntouch going for the meditation start on the Guan Yu. So, double sustain coming from him, keeping an eye on his player healing as this game goes on. And another player to talk about player healing is Cherryo, who we're tuning in with right now on this Raw. But I think we'll see more out of him in terms of damage than we'll see out of healing this game.
Yes, he will snipe everyone. Like, he'll just hit everyone somehow. They'll all be in different lanes and he'll hit everyone. And I really like that they've drafted not only the Medusa but the Athena as well. Athena can not only combine with the Petrify but also with the Searing Pain.
First time I've seen it this season. What can you see in the relics that you've not seen before? This is the first time this season.
Curse?
Nope. First time this season.
I'm looking at relics.
There is no teleport at the beginning of the game of anybody.
Oh,
Both the solo laners have gone for different things. Purification versus sprint.
I thought it was like something that we haven't seen before. It's like I've seen Curse a couple times. I was like confused. I was like, Curse isn't crazy.
We've never seen, both teams never run a teleport at rank 1. We've seen it at least on one team every
You
single
think we're
time.
going back to Season 1 meta?
Maybe
with the
we
Hogwaws and everything?
Maybe we are.
Before Divios had to ruin it with his double hog.
Well, Hog might come back, you never know. Contest over these left-hand harpies, it looks like they went the way of leftovers, though, there. I want to say they did, because the gold at the top of the screen tells me so. Yeah.
Right-hand side, though.
Too, again.
Right-hand side, look at Nika all the way pushed up to Bakasura's
That's not a surprise, though, is it? It's a throwing dagger Apollo early game against a Bakasura that has no clear, but Dodo, got to put a B down. I'm going to say, hey, Nika, listen. Calm it a little bit. Just calm it, because I will put pressure on you, so Nika well aware of it. But this match, early on, definitely goes in Apollo's favor until level 5 hits.
And then he could just die, right? If he gets crippled, especially if he gets crippled out of his dash, he's not going to be able to take to the skies fast enough before Bakasura finishes him off. The true damage, even early game, it's so powerful. And he's also gone into Death Toll, and there it goes. The Boar Invade, nothing Nika can do.
That was really well played by Dodo, though, to get lane dominance there. We saw, actually, Nika went for poke over clearing the wave, then he got punished by losing his ball because of it. Now he's going to get poked again, forced to dash away, and that's kind of what Nika's going to do this whole lane, is like, put pressure on, but play it very safe that he doesn't overcommit. And Dodo's going to do the smart thing and just continue to heal off the creeps. But he's maxing Butcher Blade still, not going for the max heal. Is that okay?
I think that's fine. I mean, you just want the board. You just want to eat minion to use it on cooldown, and he has Death's Toll as well for a little bit of sustain. And you can see he's actually gone into a lot of potions with his builds, and he has the sprint for safety, so he's not too worried about dying. I don't think the extra heal is needed. He'd rather just when he can fight Nika, he just does a lot of damage to Nika, and that's been his goal so far.
Talking about damage as well, ShadowNightmare starting with the Soul Stone, which got buffed this past patch as well on Janus. So keep an eye out for those unstable vortexes doing some additional extra damage early game that you wouldn't like.
60 bonus power on it. Can we actually hover over Unstable Vortex and just take a look at the scaling?
I know we always talk about this quite a lot. But
it's 70. It's just getting hit for like an extra 50 to 60 on cooldown. It just hurts early game when you only have 500 health in your health pool.
Very good invade coming out from Dignitas early, just putting some pressure on. They take back Harpies and the balls on the left-hand side. They just got pinged out there by leftovers on where they were heading back to. They're going to lose a couple of creeps in mid lane of Dignitas in terms of gold, but they should get most of the experiences. Cherryo has his ultimate available here. Not sure he's going to go for a cheeky snipe right now. It's not worth it because he's not going to find a kill. But so far, Dignitas are up once again.
A slight lead, though. Nothing too major here. You can actually see player damage. Medusa doing a lot, so it seems leftovers dual lane have been finding themselves with some poke.
I mean, that's Guan Yu. Guan Yu's has to be up there.
It's not doing anything, but he's
yeah. I mean, you gotta.
It's like the Y screen, man. He's
same
like,
reason why Apollo's so high is because he's got throwing dagger and he's poking down a Bakasura that's like, all right, fine, I'll just eat a minion and stay at full health still. It's no problem. No skid off my nose.
Right Harpy's going to go the way of leftovers, and look at this blue buff invade coming out from DarkDodo. This is what I wanted to see from FrostiaK that we didn't see.
Dodo's making this transition to a solo laner as one of the best changes I've seen this season. Him and Matty Pocket have been the two standouts in this region.
Matty's really stepped up.
And Dodo has too. Like, he's bringing craziness to the solo lane for the most part. I mean, he's brought out different god pretty much every single week, and he's made it work in some way.
Zashu was starting to look good too, but unfortunately, rip cringe crew on that one.
Cherryo steals that one away. Pretty sure he got one of those. I'm not sure about the second one. I think the second one actually fell in favor of Dignitas, so they'll go back over to the red. So slow start to the game. Nothing too crazy, but we're starting to hit that point now of level 5, level 6, level 7, where we might start seeing some aggression.
I'm gonna tell you the three options that the teams have for aggression. Right? It's either DarkDodo is gonna all in Nika and try and get a 1v1 kill. We're going to have Badgah force a fight and combine with Cherryo if someone's poked out, and he's just going to try and one-shot him with Searing Pain. or FrostiaK will look to set up ShadowNightmare with Suntouch rotating it.
I
Those
think
are the three options that
I
are
think
going to
we'll
happen.
wait 13 minutes. Leftovers will attempt to Goal Fury, and Rens will come over and
With Apollo,
throw
he'll
out-
actually just become Apollo.
and just press 1.
There'll be 2 Apollos in the game.
Right. Okay. Adanas, a bit too much.
Hey man,
Bit too much. You just
it's
calm
not going
down.
to happen. He's not going to
Calm
steal it again. But to be fair, that's what I said last time.
I know,
as well.
right? If he steals it this game, it'd be crazy.
A little bit of farming going on for now. No team really wanting to force an engagement, but Dignitas, I really want to see FrostiaK actually force something on this Najah. That's typically why you drafted it, is for this semi-early game aggression,
You're looking
setting
for
up for
Ra.
your mage.
You're looking for Ra more than anything else.
Both
If
of
you can
them.
find the pick on Ra here, it's going to be a big pick onto Cherryo early. Obviously, he's very, to be fair, Cherryo's got one of the issues, Ra's got the issue, rather, I should say, of being cut out of position. Like, he's got to stand in certain positions the whole time if he wants to drop his heel, but left-hand side, some aggression coming out, his cavalry charge falls by
Arkyl's
Suntouch,
dead.
and Arkyl's in trouble. And to be honest, I'll tell you now, if they didn't actually stun Arkkyl there, through space and time would have picked it up for ShadowNightmare there.
I was completely wrong on one of the engagements. It was actually Leftovers trying to force something on the left-hand side, but quickly turned around as Suntouch
Story of defense.
does not get bursted, and he holds his meditation as well, so doesn't even burn that, which means Leftovers were nowhere even close to finding that kill.
It's the story of defense. That's the big talking point here. Is both these teams very good at defending against aggression from the other team. Multiple times we've seen this happen. Leftovers made the aggression. Dignitas turn it around and find the pick. One thing I do like as well, Bakasura solo and as well Nika. They've only just gone back to base, both of them. That's their first trip back to
They
base.
don't need to.
And you can see Devourer's Gauntlets. He's
I
gone
was-
into Nika here for the extra health.
I saw that
healing as well.
A little bit surprising.
How so? I mean, he's going to get... Solo lane is the lane you get the most farming. You get left alone most of the time, which means you're going to get all that minion wave. No one's really going to rotate to defend unless you ask them to. So you're going to get your stacks online relatively quickly. A lot quicker than the duo lane when you see more rotation. So what's the harm in going for the Devourer's Gauntlets? It's still a great item. People just underrate, but talk about underrate. Gold Fury started. Medusa is here. Is it a chance for Arkkyl to return the favor from Rens?
He's going to try, but Dignitas showing Leftovers how to peel. It's FrostiaK who stuns out Arkkyl, and they walk away with essentially an uncontested Gold Fury.
Yeah, Arkkyl just
Find
didn't have
themselves,
ult.
about 2,000 in the lead already.
No Petrify available for Arkkyl there, so he couldn't really look for a big play on that, and potentially he could have if he had it available, but nope. Look for the Acid Spit, didn't find it. Instead, Gold Fury to Dignitas, as the left harpy's being contested here, and talking about the right-hand side, Dodo with a 1-level lead now.
And Dodo should keep this lead. Just the fact that he can clear the jungle faster, and you can already see he has a 500 gold lead. 300 of that from the Gold Fury, so not the largest one that he would like, but as long as he continues to control his jungle, and that's the thing too, is that TheDarkDodo is a solo laner with the Bakasura, which means he is going to usually get a couple level lead on most of everyone in the game, and that's pretty scary. A fed Bakasura coming in with like 3 or 4 items, and that's what I really want to see him start transitioning to once we start hitting like the 15-minute mark, is start rotating and abuse your lead.
Oh, that double snipe! Disgusting! And they actually pick up the other kill as well. It was a taunt from Badgah that just had Cherryo to go snipe him up, and Jungler was there with the cats as well. Beautiful little play coming
He
out from
only
Leftovers.
has Dynasty Plate Helm as well. Suntouch going to be riding in, finds Jungler stunned under tower, but Jungler smartly not hitting Suntouch at all, which means he doesn't take the tower aggro, and they'll walk out of that one. But
well, actually, we didn't get to catch it on camera, but I think Athena ulted Jungler, who is playing Bastet. Bastet pounces in, dunks down, gets the taunt, snipe connects. Bish, bash, bosh, jobs are good, and now we're going to look for the tier 1 tower.
Suntouch trying to defend,
Oh,
and here's
Dodo,
rotation
he's
from
the real
Dodo. Badgah
defense.
crippled out, but he still managed to get his dash off, and Cherryo escapes. Jungler actually was still on the tower. Now he's going to be chased by TheDarkDodo, but he doesn't have Fatalis online just yet, so Jungler escapes that. FrostiaK's here, though.
And Nika just going to split push and put the pressure on. Dodo with the rotation made it happen, but in mid lane, now Dignitas trying to turn it around and find kills in response, but they don't. FrostiaK forced back to base yet again after taking a lot of poke in that little engagement.
And this is the worrying thing, especially when you're a soul laner without teleport, is up against this Apollo specifically, is like, you're going to rotate. You're guaranteed to lose your tower.
Good body block from Badgah there coming out just to keep him in tower range, but he may pay with his life with that port. Was perfectly executed from ShadowNightmare. If only he had one more stack on his Soulstone, that may have been a kill.
That was close. I believe he had 80 health there in the end. Jungler, he's rotated, looking for ShadowNightmare, who's close to a wall, but still gonna take the poke. No.
Didn't get the bleed off. If we would have got the bleed, it would have ended up with a kill. Tier 1 tower on the right-hand side does fall. Mid one does stand, no, so leftovers find one tower, and the other one crippled of Dignitas. Let's show the graphs, and you'll see that even though they got that tower, Dignitas hold the lead here.
It was just the gold tier. It was very well executed. Snuck and leftovers, while they figured it out, they were a little bit too late to try and steal it away. Nika gonna get his blue buff this time, so no steal coming out from TheDarkDodo. More focused on these mid harpies, it seems. Level 13 for him, so he finds himself with a 2-level lead actually over Nika, and iRens as well. Also a level lead over Arkkyl. I believe it was a 2-level lead just a little bit ago. So
a little bit surprising how big the leads is getting, just because Dodo made that rotation and Nika stayed and farmed the wave, and actually saw some loss in the jungle there. But FrostiaK's ring bounce hits multiple members. Suntouch looking for some aggression there, going to heal up his team once again as they look for the left-hand harpies this time round. All ultimates still available for both teams
in the sky.
at 10 minutes. Oh no, I'm lying. Nika just rotated him.
Trying to help to defend against this push from Dignitas. Here
Thom
comes
from
the taunt,
Badgah. Snipe comes out too. Suntouch under pressure. Annihilated, and now they're looking for a pick on Dodo too, potentially. But FrostiaK takes Jungler to the sky and takes him out, so it's a 1-for-1 Jungler for support.
Once again, Dignitas continue to kind of underestimate this Athena sitting at tower edges. That's the second time we've seen that, and immediately Suntouch gets destroyed for it. But leftovers, they lose one. They're still pressuring forward. They do have the raw heal to keep them full, and that's going to be a tier 1 in
Badgah
response.
connects with Rens. He gets hit as well by Cherryo. In hands coming out from Nika and Cherryo.
Did he just
Nika
get taunted?
gets credit.
Dignitas, have they ever played against an Athena? Because it doesn't seem like they have.
Just because they get hit by the
they're just like standing, like not expecting Badgah to taunt, and they just get wombo comboed. iRens there just kind of, and there's no blink, right? Blink Athena is different, right? It's very surprising sometimes, comes over the wall, but I mean, Badgah's just standing there, and he's like, oh, Rens, taunt, and then Rens dies.
Badgah having a very good game for himself. 1-0-3, working on the hide of the Urchin, which will be finished very, very soon. Meanwhile, Suntouch not too far behind him, actually, in terms of golden experience. Keeping pace, still working on his hide of the Urchin as well. But at the moment, leftovers, they're the ones finding things this game. They're finding these taunt snipe combos that are making things work for them.
And that's what their comp is based around, especially in this mid game, is Badgah is just the setup key for Arkkyl and Cherryo to have these high damage burst ultimates, or in Petrify's case, the stun, and allow the rest of the team to collapse. That Arkkyl, though,
looking for ShadowNightmare. They're trying to burst him down in time. I'm not sure there's enough damage left on there. If it was a blue stone on the side, that would have been a kill.
It would have been close.
But it wouldn't be enough.
Oh,
but look at this. Nika going up, he's looking for ShadowNightmare, I think, but ShadowNightmare just cancelled his back, and he knows they're just trying to time it. The heal comes out from Suntouch, so Nika still able to have in the air. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, guess what they're up to? Gold Fury.
He actually goes down in the mid lane trying to confuse it. Not again. Not again. Not again.
Again! Are you serious? I know Arkyl's in trouble. He's low on mana. Going to get jumped on by Rens, looking for the kill, but a great body block from Badgah. Going to keep them at bay. They're still looking for it. The regurgitate throws over the top to slow Arkkyl down. Arkyl's still alive, though, as Badgah gets a ton off, and Rens gets some great damage off because of it. But Suntouch will fall to Nika. Now the Gold Fury goes to Dignitas, but leftovers find the kill.
Leftovers get a 2-for-0, but the Gold Fury stolen.
Let's see who stole that Gold Fury,
for the third time by the man himself, iRens. It might have been Suntouch. It was him or Suntouch.
It doesn't matter. Rens was involved again.
It was Rens.
And he wasn't zoned.
We're not even going to... I don't even want anyone to break that down. Let's all just accept that it was Rens.
We'll accept it. We will accept that it was Rens.
Absurd. His timing. But to be fair, a lot of it's also leftovers. They're not zoning.
They're not zoning at all. That's multiple times. I mean, in the same situation too. Badgah could have zoned. I mean, realistically, Nika couldn't zone this game, right? He's on a hunter. You don't want to go off and try and zone.
So that's something too, is Nika actually landed in the mid lane. I'm not sure if that was to try and distract Dignitas, like, hey, we're not doing it, I'm just landing in the mid lane. But I mean, Dignitas, they were line driving to it. They didn't even care about Nika.
But that's what it was, is a taunt lands onto FrostiaK from Badgah once again. No follow-up this time from Cherryo, who still has his ultimate available. Cherryo going for a very defensive build here, obviously with the helm for the extra protections as well as penetration. Now working on the breastplate of valor, so go for the cooldown reduction for hot snipes all day long.
So the Egyptian sniper can snipe more people.
And actually, thinking about it more, Cherryo could have secured that with a snipe.
Was it on cooldown?
I'm not sure. I guess we should look at the replay a little bit more. I guess
I only was looking at Rens, man.
I know.
How did he do it? How did he do it?
But Cherryo has snipe. Why was the snipe not used there? If the snipe was available, It should have been theirs. And if it wasn't available, then okay, I can forgive Cherryo for that.
Rens just off the mark on that pillar stun.
That's not a Gold Fury, Rens. That's a Medusa.
He can hit the gold. Well, the Gold Fury doesn't like juke, so he...
Oh, he does. He used to.
Used to? What? When did it ever juke?
Sometimes
There's
the players.
The Gold
Ask
Fury
the players.
All right,
Fury
sometimes
the
it's
players.
fair enough. Ask Epsilon. Well, I mean, now
Yeah.
put there, but
Yeah.
they were not having fun with that one. 6-2, read the kills, though. Leftovers, 2,500 down in gold for the second game in the row. Kind of the same story, where they're winning the fights, right? They're winning the engagements, but the Gold Furies are just being stolen away by Dignitas. And in the case of the first
Well,
one,
not by Dignitas,
they were
just
able
by
to sneak it.
Rens. Just by Rens. Rens could take on this team alone and stay even up until the 30-minute mark by just walking to the Gold Fury.
Maybe.
I'm like, what's up, boys? Thanks.
What are they going to do against it?
What are they going to do? They're not going to peel, that's for sure. They've shown that already.
You know, it's zone.
Zone. Okay, true.
Back Harpy's going to be spawning level 17 right now on DarkDodo, but
I want to
the
see
rest
Dodo
of the-
go off soon because he's.
I want to see him too, right? He's just look at the levels on the leftovers, right? Obviously level 15 on Nika, but everyone else is level 13 or
Yeah.
level 12. I mean, DarkDodo has a 5-level lead that he needs to abuse.
And he's not managed to get involved as much as I would have liked. He's made rotations to mid, though, to support when his team fell behind, and they nearly lost the tower off it. So Dodo's rotations have been good. He's just not managed to find a kill. You saw Arkkyl actually just managed to get away because of Badger's amazing defense work for body blocking for him.
You could see that. I think leftovers understand the power of this Bakasura, though, because you look at the right-hand side. Well, actually, they're looking for Rens. No Gold Fury to be stolen.
Yeah, well,
Oh, early taunt.
Taunt, not going to connect. Lead from Rens is good. Going to take a little bit of poke from Acid Spray, but here's the rotation from Dignitas in response. The horse is out, and FrostiaK gets a beautiful arm off to absolutely catch Arkkyl, but the Sanctuary is good to keep him alive. He's in the heal, but the portal will secure the kill. Now they're looking for more as Dodo makes his entrance to the fight with the massive amounts of damage he's got. He's still not going to find a kill. He just forces them back.
Chases into tower, but with one dead.
Guess what Nika's doing now?
Leftovers should be able to heal up, but yeah, Nika, he should be able to get this tier 2 uncontested, and this is a fine trade. Leftovers don't even want to defend that tier 1. They're sitting in the tier 2. They know Nika can ult over if they want to take that 4-on-5.
Someone's
Arkyl's
gonna
going to be spawning soon.
Someone has to go back very soon from Dignitas advice. They will lose a Phoenix, especially when the call comes that no one's back. And you can see Dodo has to go back to base. So the highest damage dealer, well, at least potential damage dealer with that experience lead, has to go back to defend against Nika.
You know, we talked about it earlier, how neither Soul Inner had teleport, but right now it's really looking like DarkDodo should have invested into it. This is a problem.
I can agree.
Honestly, Dignitas are going to have to deal with all game. Obviously, they have ShadowNightmare, so they have the through space and time, but against the Apollo, they have no one else who can defend against him and also make the rotation to the team fights if Apollo ults over.
I mean, realistically, the one thing they can do is if ShadowNightmare's in a position they see Apollo pushing the tower, through space and time at his face while he's in tower range, you get vision. And Apollos don't really move that much away from, you know, where they were auto-attacking for, so you just go away from the minion wave, and then Bob's your uncle, you've killed him. You know?
What?
Bob's your uncle.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. Is this the
Europeans?
is it like a UK thing?
It was a
I
UK
don't
thing.
know.
This happens all
Gold
the
Fury
time.
has respawned. It is the death.
Where's Rens?
It is the death of leftovers. Right? If I'm leftovers, I'm just picking. Look at him. He already knows.
He's like, oh no, it's not free.
If I'm leftovers, I'm actually just picking Rens before we even attempt the Gold Fury. There's absolutely no point because you're not zoning.
Badger gonna actually see him place that ward again, but Ren's on point again with the leech just as the taunt comes
Very
out.
well timed. And the rest of Dignitas here coming actually underneath the Gold Fury.
Yeah, they're trying to bait.
FrostiaK is trying to bait Cherryo into the jungle.
Or Jungler. Jungler's a fine pick for them too if they can take him out of the equation because Jungler so far 2-1-3. Cherryo, for all he's done in this game in terms of damage and actually being involved in the kills, he's still not been given credit for one of those kills yet.
Nah, he's a support.
Thom connects on Suntouch, snipe hits, but Suntouch a lot tankier this time around. Had the Urchin online. Still has meditation as well, so snipe on cooldown for a little bit from Cherryo for another 40 seconds now. So cooldown reduction really making an impact for Ra to keep up with the damage.
Another thing too is Cherryo invested into the Dynasty Plate helmet, then into the Breastplate of Valor as well, so he doesn't really have a strong magical power base. You can see 18 minutes in, he only has 110, is that? Yeah, 110 magical power, which, especially against a Guan Yu right now, not gonna hurt him too much.
Oh, great blink engagement coming out there from FrostiaK, who takes him up through space and time. Was a little bit too early from ShadowNightmare though. Unstable vortex hit, and the horse is going to try and run down the bird, but the bird's in tower range, and Suntouch taking a lot of poke. And now with Arkkyl here, Suntouch could be in a bit of an awkward position. Has to pull away. Badger takes out FrostiaK. As there's a rotation. Nika with the Apollo. 2 hunters against 1. Guan will fall.
2 for 0 there. Beautiful turnaround by Leftovers, once again continuing to showcase that the ability to reset fights is very strong, and that Breastplate of Valor, a big part in that. FrostiaK finds Cherryo, but Cherryo recognizes that he is the target, so he adjusts his build from whatever it typically is into making sure he can survive that burst.
And it was a great play coming out from Dignitas, but gets turned on it. Now Leftovers aggressing in mid, taunt onto 2, Purification forced. But look at this, Dodo going in, realizing he was going to get pulled, gets some damage off and retreats. Rens with the Desert Fury, ShadowNightmare tries to swing around the back, but Jungler with the bleed picks off Dodo. And now Leftovers with the heals of Raw can look for the tier 2.
They can't stop it. I mean, Dignitas actually can't stop this. The heals are a little bit too strong. Badgah going to be tanking up the tier 2 now. And Leftovers, there's no objective for them to realistically take unless they want to force the Gold Fury. This could actually be very good for Dignitas. If they can force Leftovers to back, they can actually get the Gold Fury, and that looks exactly like what they're heading to do.
They are going to go straight over towards that Gold Fury area.
Very smart.
Walkovich is in their favor right now. There is a ward around. Arkkyl going to swing around. Notice that is where Dignitas is. So will Dignitas go for it? That's the question. It doesn't look like they will now. Maybe they will.
They didn't force anyone back far enough, but
Badger's
Dignitas...
Here. They didn't back. Leftovers did not back. They're going to hear his 4 men to contest. And now, an immediate sash from FrostiaK into a fantastic ult to pick up Arkkyl. Arkkyl in the sky going to get run down. The pillar was great, and ShadowNightmare picks it up. What a great little play from Frosty.
This is a level of FrostiaK that I have not seen in quite some time, and it is amazing to watch. Cherryo, though, going to do his best Rins impression.
No,
a little bit too late, though. Does hit Rins, I believe.
Rins is like, pfft. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm the slayer of all that is gold.
I am the Gold
Look at me.
Fury.
I am the Gold Fury now. 20 and a half minutes in the game. Gold Fury goes the way Dignitas. Let's go to the graphs, and you can see 1,400 experience lead for Dignitas, 900 gold after their tier 2 tower fell in Leftovers' favor in mid lane.
20 minutes in, this is basically an even game, but
one
thing
the same
to note
story.
is that Leftovers that have actually taken more towers, and some of those including tier 2s.
That's true.
So
that's true.
They should be a little bit further ahead than they are right now.
But this is the same story again. Dignitas aggressed. The FrostiaK went in, all in on Cherryo, right? Suntouch follows him up. They don't find the kill. They get turned on and lose 2 people. That's what happens. Mid lane, you see Leftovers push down, get a tier 2 in response of that pick. But what happens after that? Well, the Gold Fury is started by Dignitas. Leftovers try and contest and engage a fight, and Dignitas win the fight. Just don't contest. Let the other team contest and you'll win. That's what I've learned so far.
What it is on both these squads.
They're both very good at defense. Offense is where they're having issues.
Badgah placing some wards there on the right-hand side. Fire Giant, the only objective left on the board, outside of the towers, of course. So something that both teams are probably going to be looking for very soon, especially considering TheDarkDodo is going to be able to do a lot against the Fire Giant. Going to be able to rip through it with Butcher Blades, and having both a Hunter and a Assassin in the solo lane.
It's just not having an impact.
I mean, they could 2-man it.
It's not having an impact, this. And the problem is that the longer this game goes on now, everybody else is going to start reaching level 22. Yes, his build's going to be coming online, but look at Nika. Nika picked this Apollo solo. He's 3-0-2. His gold's 500 gold down, but his build is pretty good. He's a cheaper build overall as well. Is one of the reasons that he's further ahead in build right now. But, I mean, he's having a bigger impact.
And that's the thing, too, is that TheDarkDodo, we really wanted to see him transition in that mid-game, start making some plays. And he did rotate, to be fair, right? It wasn't like he didn't rotate, but he just couldn't get his damage off, it seemed. He's having the same problem that FrostiaK did, is that he jumps onto the back line, but Leftovers are so good at staying alive, right? They have the shell, they have the curse to slow him down a little bit, although he does have the sprint in response, but I think they wait until that's down. And then they have the raw heals as well, and the rest of the team, they just have mobility to escape.
Well, Cherryo in the mid lane there, playing that raw, has more cooldown reduction with the Chronos pendant now picked up from as well. Well, increases damage a little bit, but he's not really there for the damage. He just seems to be more of a focused target for Dignitas to go for. I think that's what he's trying to set himself up as for the most part this game, and then sustain his team during these engagements with the heals.
He doesn't really care about getting these big burst ultimates. He just wants to, like you said, be utility, right? He's a bait for FrostiaK and TheDarkDodo to focus on him, and then just heal himself up with a max cooldown, right? Solar Blessing comes online very quickly, and he only has 165 magical power at 23 minutes. That's not a lot.
Well, Badgah hanging around the corner, waiting for Suntouch to walk through and clear the wall. That was a strategy we've seen against the Millsy before. They all in Suntouch. Suntouch evaporated. Left-hand side, Nika gets aggressed on by FrostiaK and immediately ults over towards mid lane for a zoning thing here. Just going to keep an eye for his team of where everybody is. He's actually a mobile ward right now.
And he's going to land right on top of the Fire Giant. TheDarkDodo.
Space and time.
Realizes it's going
Where's
on.
Rens? Where's Rens? Where's Space and Time? There's Space and Time. ShadowNightmare going to fire it. Does not find the kill. Rens is on his way, though. Be careful of the jungler, but he's not going to be there in time. Leftovers get the fire giant, but they may lose the fight. Cherryo very low. Very good use of the purification, I think, to get FrostiaK away from him and keep him alive. Dodo very low as well. He's going to fall down eventually to Nika. His ShadowNightmare did clean up one in response, but it's a 2-for-1 engagement. The Leftovers get the fire giant, and Rens, well, there's no goal for you there, my friend.
He's going to be taunted. Arkkyl finds the last hit, and only one player left alive right now for Dignitas. Oh no, Suntouch has respawned, but I mean, Leftovers, not only do they get the fire giant, but Cherryo somehow manages to stay alive. He was very low, actually managing to just barely juke out FrostiaK's ultimate there, and then live with the use of Sanctuary, and they were able to turn it around and find 3 more kills.
Love what they're doing there. They're going to push straight down mid lane. Nika's gone off to the left-hand side to take those 2 towers down. Dignitas only have ShadowNightmare and Suntouch to defend this, so they may have to just give it the Phoenix. They'll look for poke damage here, Dignitas, but I think they're going to lose at least a Phoenix and 2 towers on the left.
They can't defend this Phoenix. You can see ShadowNightmare trying to throw in some unstable vortexes. Now the team's going to take a trip over to this tier 2. And I like this from Leftovers. Can we actually take a look at gold in hand as this tower falls? So
just under 2,000. Well, just over 2,000. That'll be for Nika now that tower falls. As also Cherryo. He should be able to get some more penetration online if he so chooses, or even more survivability.
Gold Fury is actually going to be spawning soon here. I don't know. Leftovers should have the time. They can hear the Gold Fury actually come down there, but it doesn't look like they want to do it.
I actually like what we see coming out from ShadowNightmare here. I know they're behind in this game, but the Bancroft's Talon. Now, Bancroft's Talon, the passive is you increase your damage the lower health you are. And when you think about how many bleeds he keeps getting put on him by jungler, he's going to get lower and lower and lower. So if he gets a 3 space and time off at low health, that could kill someone just because of the extra parry he'll get from the iron.
I mean, it kills people anyway, right?
Yeah,
like on its own, and he has been sitting very low for most of the game.
But it also gives him sustain to not have to recall back to base after taking some poke from the Bastet in mid lane as well. And it's generally the Bastet he's going to worry about more than anything else.
No towers left remaining, though, for Dignitas. They have 2 Phoenixes left. Leftovers are going to secure this Gold Fury. No Rens in sight to steal it away this time.
I mean, it was a funny joke, but the thing is, like, Rens has stole so many in this set.
It was a funny joke the first time he stole it. The second time I was like, wow, that's amazing.
The
third time I'm like, all right, this is just unbelievable.
Left-hand side is where Leftovers going to group up, and you can see Dignitas all ready to defend this one. So far, so good for both these teams on defensive duties when they've been assaulted. But can Dignitas hold out against a Fire Giant team for the second time in 2 games? If they can hold here, there's a chance for them to turn it around. Respawn time is starting to get a little bit longer now. But at the moment, they're all around the right-hand side, and Badgah looking at them. And he's going to tank the tower with the sustain coming out from Cherryo. Thom onto Suntouch. Poke. Suntouch half elf. Suntouch almost dead. Suntouch is dead. Space and time hits Arkkyl, but there's no follow-up yet.
It's actually Nika who's trying to retreat, and this is a full engage. FrostiaK over the wall takes one to the sky. TheDarkDodo, he's going to reset back to Fountain, but actually Nika lives, and the heals from Cherryo are good. Arkkyl kills FrostiaK, and the turnaround and the utility from this Raw are allowing Leftovers to just whittle away at Dignitas' defenses.
ShadowNightmare does get away with the Sanctuary as a taunt goes from Badgah, going to hit both of the damage dealers of Dignitas, but instead of going for the end here, Leftovers started looking towards the Phoenix. No, they're changed their mind. They're going to go for the end here. Is this going to be a split? Leftovers versus Dignitas? 1-1 will be the scoreline. Absolutely, really enjoyable set, honestly. I actually enjoyed that game way too much.
That was way too much. That was a pleasure to watch. Both teams, I think, played at a very high level, especially come late game, when we saw, in that game 1 specifically, kind of the back and forth that we saw from them. And then game 2, just Leftovers taking control of the game, even after getting Gold Fury stolen away from them again.
Yep, let's have a little look at First Blood at the beginning of this game once again. And it was on Rens who picked up that kill. This was just an engagement that it seemed to have been Leftovers going for. We didn't get to see the sniper mid lane that picked up a double kill. I mean, I wonder if we got that in the replays too. That'd be nice if we did.
Rens hit every single auto attack there.
You know what, he also hit every single time, the Gold Fury.
All right, let's... I can't tell.
It was Rens. Give it him. Just give it
Rens. No one
looked
back at it.
He got it. 3 Gold Furies secured by Rens. Good little play from him. But Badgah, with those big taunts all game long in game 2, had a very good game multiple times, hitting 2-3 people.
Really?
And this is the play mid that we missed. So the dunk came through at the same time as the snipe and the kitty cats. There was no taunt.
I was wondering how he did that much, how Cherryo did that much damage with the snipe early on. He only had Dynasty Plate Helm finish. And this is, once again, Dignitas diving very deep, and just the positioning from Badgah. He makes sure to block off the retreat path that Dignitas has. He doesn't go and try and peel Cherryo because his taunt's on cooldown. He knows he he can't do anything, so he'd rather kind of just place himself in between the rest of Dignitas so they can't assist Suntouch on the dive.
And you can see he's always looking around for where the aggressors are going to be. His fire jet control is a little bit better than his Gold Fury, in fairness. And then you can see that he's looking at the backline to defend them, keep them alive, keep his teammates alive, and in the end, ends up being involved in a lot of those kills and assists.
I think, yeah, he allows Nika to finish off that kill and then just chases down iRens, gets the taunt here. And
it's just a good performance from Badgah overall. And
solid.
To be fair, that's what everyone said. Badgah and Friends was a team, but to be fair, they're more than just friends. They're really good players right now.
I mean, Jungler has shown up. We've seen Cherryo is honestly the one for me. That he's the guy right now that's keeping Leftovers competitive with some of the better teams in Europe. But Nika as well, the new member on the block, has
talking about Nika,
well.
we actually have Nika on the line as well from the solo lane, playing the Apollo that game. Nika, how you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. So, you get the split. How did game 1 go for you guys, first of all, before we talk about game 2?
Well, we were in a good position, but there was like 3 key mistakes, which were the 2 Gold Fury steals that they got, and the push on the left tower, which really led to us losing the game.
Okay,
But,
and then obviously game 2, we saw your Apollo come out against the Bakasura.
Yeah. I mean, Apollo is just a safe pick, and if they don't build TP, then you can just split the map, and that's probably why he's the strongest
I kind
ADC
of want
at
to
the
talk
moment.
about the steals again. Not necessarily how they happened, but tell me about what's the morale like when you have it stolen so often? Even in the 3rd game, right, when it happened once again, what are the comms like? Are you guys just like, does it get to you? Are you frustrated at all? Or do you guys make sure to, keep a calm mind?
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating, but you just have to move on and like just recover from the plays. Like there's nothing. I think we could have zoned probably the first Gold Free steal in game 1, which would have helped us snowball the game. But I mean, it happens. You can't really do much against it.
I mean, mistakes happen. To be fair, this is your first time in the Pro League as well, Nika. Like, how are you finding things in the Pro League right now?
I'm really enjoying it. Like the step up is really entertaining, and the more I play, the more I feel like I'm improving, and a few more weeks and I think I'll be playing a lot better, like more to my potential.
All right, where are Leftovers finishing? Top 4, bottom 4?
It's too early. Probably, I don't know. I don't want to say. It's too early to call.
Go on,
say it.
No, no comment.
No comment.
Europe is just really unpredictable at the moment. Anyone can take games off each other, so it's hard to call any team at the moment.
Completely agree. Thank you so much for joining us, Nika. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, shout-outs to the team, obviously. We played really well. We could have got the 2-0, but 1-1's still good enough. Shout-outs to the fans who support us. We really appreciate it. And, the friends who always come around and support me as well in real life and, in Smite as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nika. 1-1 Leftovers split with Dignitas. Good performance from both those teams, to be fair. However, we've still got one more European game to come. But first of all, let's take a little look at those standings and see where that puts them with that split.
Dignitas still reign in 3rd right now, having a 5-3 record, and Leftovers, they've started to rise as well, 4-6, still losing, but showcasing that they can play with the best of them.
They can play with the top half of the table there. You can see Paradigm now tied up as well. Still to come, though, today we have a very interesting match. Cringe Crew, who took a game off Panthera, now try their luck against Paradigm, who recently lost a game to Dignitas.
Before that Panthera game, I would have said Paradigm 2-0 easy. Now I can't.
Well, they also have Axios in the solo lane, Cringe Crew, so we'll see how he does for his first performance, if he is going to play. But before we bring that up, we've got a little bit more time to talk about the Spring Fling, which is Spring Fling, if I can say words. Spring Fling is coming. Find out who else is joining mine and Epsilon's team.